Hey, I'm Evan, Head of Engineering for RMSTATOR. I'm going to show you how to install our integrated circuit regulator upgrade for the Nippon Denso Alternator. This gear-driven alternator was used on a ton of different Japanese motorcycles, and I think Triumph used them and other people. Mostly in the 80s, I think early 90s as well. So there's a ton of them around, and they're very durable, but the kind of common failure on them is the regulator. So we have a great upgrade here that completely fixes the problem on these and is super reliable. So I'm going to show you how to install it. So first off, we're obviously have an alternator that's out of the bike. On a lot of bikes you can do this upgrade with the alternator still installed. This is out of a GSX 600 Katana, and it is pretty difficult to get to, so we went ahead and removed it. And it's easier to show you how to do stuff with it on the bench. So to get started, you need to remove the 3 nuts that hold the cover on. They're 8 millimeters. So with those loose, I can pull the cover off. Okay, so now we're looking at the top of the alternator. So the regulator that we want to deal with is mounted to the plate here. This is the old regulator, this silver round thing here. And to replace it, we need to remove this plate. So you're going to want to remove all these bolts here. If you are doing this on the bike, make sure you disconnect your battery as well, just to be safe. So everything's a Phillips head screw, easy to remove. So we need to pull these 2 here. We need to pull this one here and this one down here. So just so you know what's what, these guys are, this is the ground, this is just a mounting bolt. This right here is your voltage sense. It's a switched hot wire that's fed back basically battery voltage from your wiring harness. And down here is your field coil terminal. This is what actually powers up the field coil, the electromagnet inside. It's what the regulator switches on and off. And then over here you have your hot wire going back to the battery. So this is actually your charging wire, I suppose, back to the battery positive. So I've got these loose. I'm going to go ahead and remove these screws, and then I can pull the regulator plate out, and then I'll show you how to remove the regulator. Okay, so here's the regulator mounting plate removed, and basically we need to remove the original regulator from the plate here. It's held in place by 2 Phillips head bolts, so I've already removed those. I'll get them out of the way. And then its connections are actually solder terminals here, so you can see that they're both soldered in place. So it's not really difficult, but you just need to heat up each of these terminals with a soldering iron, and then you can kind of, as you heat it up with the iron and get one terminal hot, you can push in on it a little bit and just kind of rock out each side one by one. And if you keep doing that, you'll get to the point where you can pop them both out. If you have a solder wick or a soldered sucker tool, then you can heat it up and pull all the extra solder away from here, which makes it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how to reinstall this. Okay, so here's the regulator removed from the regulator mount, and I can get the regulator out of the way. So I'm going to bring the alternator over. First thing, need to reinstall the mounting plate here. So slide that in. This side goes underneath, so you kind of have to move it around a little bit to get it to line up. Okay, so that's in place. I'm going to add one of the mounting screws right here just to hold this steady. Okay, so here's our new regulator, and it mounts over here to the grounding plate, and we include a new bolt as well as a nut to stand this off a little bit. So I'm not going to install that yet, but just to show you where it goes. So it's going to mount kind of sitting across just like this, and then your red wire in this ring terminal is going to go right up here where your original red wire from the harness mounts as well. So you'll have the 2 of those together at this spot right here. And then you have the black wire from our regulator, which is going to come around here and mount down here to the field coil terminal. And you need to kind of be careful, be gentle with this so you don't break the wires here where they attach to the chip, and make sure you route them so they're out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that installed, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all mounted. Alright, so we have our new regulator installed. You can see it's mounted here. This is the ground side on the copper plate here, and that screw's installed along with the standoff. We have the mounting screw installed over here that just holds it in place. We have our red wire from the new regulator is tied to the red wire from the harness at this terminal right here. That's the voltage sense wire. And then over here we have the black wire tied, mounted down here to the field coil terminal. So you reuse the original hardware and screw them back in place, and that's about it. Make sure that you tuck your wires inside like this so they don't hit the cover when you put it back on. So once you have that done, you can reinstall your cover, put the grommet in place, and line it up with the studs. Check to make sure that you're not pinching a wire anywhere. And then you can put the nuts back in place and tighten them down to secure the cover, and then you're good. If you did that on the bike, you're all set. If you removed it, obviously reinstall the alternator, and then go ahead and fire it up and put your multimeter on the battery, and you should see at 5,000 RPM or so, you should be upwards of 14.6, 14.7 volts. So that'll make sure that everything's working well. So hope this was an easy install for you, and you'll have a reliable alternator for quite a few miles on this.